On today's show, we visit a march against elder abuse, talk with Jackie Millar of Terra, Cura on Open Here, hear original poetry, get a Just the Facts update on Plymouth Town Government on the local scene, and talk to some of the vendors at Plymouth Pride.
And if you're looking to learn or just have some fun, we'll also be talking about classes, programs, and upcoming things to do in Plymouth, Pembroke, Kingston, and Duxbury.
We're glad you are here. Let's get started. In partnership, Old Colony Elder Services, the Brockton Council on Aging, the Plymouth Center for Active Living, the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department, and the Plymouth County District Attorney's Office held 2 events in June to raise awareness of the victimization of seniors. We went on the local scene to the downtown Plymouth waterfront for the March Against Elder Abuse.
See something, say something. See something, say something.
We're here to recognize and bring awareness to World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, which is June 15th. So we do this by having 2 marches, one in Brockton and one in Plymouth. Today's march is to help build awareness within the community that elder abuse does exist and what to do about it if you see it.
It's such an important day, for World Elder Abuse, and unfortunately, we deal in our line of work. We deal with elder abuse all the time. And it's so important to have people out there understand that it exists and make sure people can help us stay away from it. So that's why it's important to let people know that there's, unfortunately, people out there who will take advantage of people. They will hurt our seniors, but we're there to help. OCS is out there to help. The Sheriff's Department is there to help. Try to all work together so that we can all be safer in our community.
Well, I am here today, first and foremost, it's my job to come to things like this. But I'm also here because this is an issue that is personally very important to me. I know so many of us in our society deal with issues of elder abuse. The good news is many of us don't. That's the good news. But the bad news is those that don't necessarily think about those who do. And marches like this and the platform that's given me as the sheriff allow me to get that word out to those folks who may not be aware of this. And that's the purpose of this whole day, is to raise that awareness.
No excuse for elder abuse! There's 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 no excuse for elder abuse!
Elder abuse is underreported. Our reports continue to rise each year. Last year, I believe the number was 43,617 across the state of Massachusetts for elder abuse reports. So our reports are increasing, and we want people to know that if they see something, say something, and we want them to report it.
No excuse for elder abuse! No excuse for elder abuse! There's no excuse for elder abuse!
I just think that public awareness is such an important thing, and for people to understand that we need to protect our seniors, and that's why we go to COAs all the time. We talk to them about scams and the variety of issues that are going on, whether it be COVID scams, romance scams, all the things that people try to take advantage of our seniors. Our seniors are kinder and gentler than a lot of the younger people are, and therefore it's easier for them to be taken advantage of. They're more trusting than a lot of people are nowadays. So people should know about it. Help somebody, help a senior if you have an opportunity to do something for them. They've all done things for us in the past, whether you know it or not. They continue to do that. We're here to help them, and understand that in the DA's office, we're here to make sure that if somebody hurts a senior, there's enhanced penalties for that. We will prosecute them, and we will make sure they get the penalties that they deserve, and at the same time trying to put them back to status quo if they do get taken advantage of, if they do lose money.
Showing unity behind an issue, and always the question that people ask as they pass by is, I wonder what issue is that unites these people. And when they see our signs, they see our shirts, and they see who we are, they will get an understanding, hopefully, and at least stop to think. Because as I said, luckily for most of us, we do not deal with issues of elder abuse. But for those of us who do, it is important that we who don't deal with them and remember them in our prayers, but also effectively reach out to help those folks who need the help.
I think, it goes back to almost an old-fashioned sense. In a technological age, pay attention, check on your neighbors, check on your elders. It takes 5 seconds to go out of your way to give a wave, Look at patterns. Does your elder neighbor raise their blinds every day and then suddenly you're noticing that maybe they're not? If you feel like something is amiss, it probably is. Trust your instincts and always report. You can do it anonymously. Any concerns you may have in taking care of your elder neighbors.
There's some information on our website, www.ocesma.org, as well as the National Center for Elder Abuse also has some information about what is elder abuse. In terms of reporting it, if you see something and say something, we want you to file a report with the Elder Abuse Hotline, which is 1-800-922-2275. It's very important to be in the community because we want people to see us, to be visible, to help them raise their voices, to understand that elder abuse is not going to be tolerated, and we want to make sure that we're doing something to benefit the community to know where to report it. Our older adults are sometimes isolated and need assistance, and people in the community may see them and may know them, and we want them to file a report so that we can get in there and help them so that they can live in their community healthy and free and safe.
Bring on the pizza and beer for books. The Kingston Public Library Foundation's famed library fundraiser is happening in their parking lot on September 14th from 1 to 5 p.m. Come down and sample tasty suds from local breweries, grab a delicious slice from Nor'easter Pizza Company, and top it off with a cool treat from El Pro Ice Cream. Everything you spend goes towards supporting the Kingston Public Library Foundation, a nonprofit that supports the library by raising funds and grants for programs, technology, and community engagement events not covered by town funding. While you are sipping and munching in honor of your love for Libros, enjoy live music by the band Shedheads, local favorites who will be rocking covers of all your favorite songs.
Attend a warm introduction to the Plymouth Phil's 2025 through 2026 season on Wednesday, September 10th at 7 p.m. Hosted by the Plymouth Public Library, Meet the Maestro features the Phil's dynamic conductor Stephen Kurdianis in a light and lively preview of music to come. You'll enjoy a crescendo of information, recorded samples, and charming anecdotes about the compositions and their composers. This event will run about 90 minutes, will take place in the Phalo Room, and is free and open to all.
What does a personal mission of ecological health and systemic impact look like? I sat down with Terra Cura co-founder Jackie Millar on our Open Here podcast to find out. I'm with Jackie Millar from Terra Cura Inc. Welcome. So glad to have you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's dig in.
Sure.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in North Adams, Massachusetts, which is the corner of the state. So for me, North Adams is a place where we were able to have apple trees in the backyard, Blueberry Hill up the hill. So that's what kind of got me interested in permaculture and local food systems.
Very nice. And before we go into Terra Cura, let's talk about permaculture.
Sure.
For those who don't know, what is permaculture?
So permaculture, there's three tenets: land care, people care, fair share. So permaculture is really mimicking nature on your own property if you can. What I try to tell people is be a producer, not a consumer. So if you can plant maybe your grocery list in your backyard, that's a really good first step to do that.
Can you tell us a little bit about Terra Cura?
Sure. Terra Cura was founded about 10 years ago. And everybody who founded Terra Cura had permaculture design certifications. And that's a certification you get by going out to the Western Mass, in my case, and you spend 3 weekends learning about permaculture and all the tenets of permaculture. And after I did that, I thought to myself, I can't be cooped up in an office anymore. I have to get out into the world and practice this. So that's why I did it, was just to make what I believed in a reality.
Right. What's your mission?
My mission is to connect people with their food systems and connect them with the natural world. I think we spend a lot of time just looking at our phones, doing things that don't connect with nature anymore. So now that we're outside in the world, I think it's really important for people to observe nature, help nature, and kind of replicate nature at your own house. So that's my goal, is to have people remember we're part of nature. We're not just looking at nature when we go to a park in the afternoon. We ourselves are part of nature too.
Yeah, it seems like it would be something that's really good for your soul.
I think it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. What are some of your current initiatives?
So we've had a community garden down in Algonquin Heights, and it's about 8 years there. So that's still ongoing. And I love that space because it's both a reflection space for people and a food production space. We have a lot of kids come into the garden, and one of the number one things they like to do is look at the bugs and all the butterflies. And we have a lot of kids that just want to have a little space just to sit, maybe do a craft or go pick some flowers. And we always bring a bouquet of flowers to the office every week as well. So that's one of my favorites, is the community garden down in Algonquin Heights. And then we have 2 gardens, one as a PCIS, which is a middle school in Plymouth, and Plymouth South High School as well. And those are both ongoing, and they've been rebuilt by the folks at those schools. So for me, that's a win. When we build with wood that's pine, it's going to degrade. So when they replace them and kind of take ownership of them, that to me is a big win, because now the community in the school has now got that garden and really doing a great job with both of those gardens.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So in what ways does permaculture bring the community together?
So for me, anytime you're in a garden, you're interacting with people who are at the garden and plants as well. And even I was at the library yesterday talking about plants. So that's kind of a common thread for folks, is to talk about gardening at their house, at the community garden behind the library. And then we start to get new ideas. I told somebody about a fennel plant that I had that's 2 years old, and it's as big as me now. And they're like, I love fennel. I go, me too. It's, if you like licorice, you like fennel. So I think it's a touchstone for people to talk about food, talk about plants, talk about some communion with nature as well. So for me, I think it's a common thread for people to talk about food and growing food, in my opinion.
Right. You educate children about nature and their food systems. Why is it important to connect kids to the environment? What can it bring to their lives?
For me, I really think kids understand food if they're able to get outside and see how it's grown. When they pull a carrot out of the ground, they're shocked that this orange thing has come out of the ground. When they're smelling dill and they say to me, that smells like a pickle, I'm like, well, that's because you use seeds of dill to make dill pickles. So kids, I think, really have to be outside in nature to understand what and how their food is grown. Once they do that, they're more mindful of how they get their groceries into their house. So they're a big influence on their parents. So they might want to say, Mom, let's go to the farmer's market this week, because it's really important to meet the farmer, to get the corn, to look at the tomatoes, instead of having food be flown around the world, around the country. If you get a tomato from Florida, it doesn't even taste like a tomato by the time it gets here, because it's just been on the truck for so long. So I think kids really have a big impact on what their parents do every day.
And it must be so fun to watch them in the wild.
I love kids in a garden, and that is kind of an equalizer for kids as well. It's a touchstone, because I'll say to them, do you have a garden at your house? And they'll say, but my grandmother does, and we grow that there. So all kids have the same experience in the garden. Nobody has any different socioeconomic status in a garden. It's the plants, it's the soil, and it's the connected experience right there with those kids.
Oh, I love that. Something they can't get from a screen.
No.
How are you personally fulfilled by nature, permaculture, and just being outdoors in general? What does it do for you?
For me, I find connecting with nature is very relaxing. For me to be in my backyard listening to the birds, watching them go into the bird bath, watching my bees. I'm a beekeeper. They fly up, they fly down, they fly up. They're so busy, hence the term busy bee. But they all have a role, and they all work in common unison for the goal, which is to store the honey and take care of the queen bee. So for me, nature is really, it fulfills the soul. It helps your observation skills, and it really just relaxes you, because in the world we live in that's so fast, and there's so much input, and the input comes from phones or from the television or from other things. Nature, there's no real input except something that kind of slows your heart rate, lets you look at nature and just kind of be part of nature, which I think is really important.
Definitely. What do you think the future holds for Terra, Cura?
That's a good question. We've been around for 10 years, which is great.
That's a lot.
But yeah, it is long in the nonprofit world. It's hard to run a nonprofit and always try to look for funding. I think the impact for us is always going to be community garden work, growing plants, connecting people with their food systems. And I'm not sure what Terra Cura, what's going to happen in the next 10 years. We're not a big organization. We're very small. So we'll have to see what the board decides. We have an annual meeting every November and see what happens next. But I will continue to do this work no matter what, because I love it.
Of course. and this is your passion. Was this what you were born to do, you think?
It's funny, you know what I mean? You have certain thoughts about what you should do in life, but then what you really want to do in life is totally different. So I went to law school, became a lawyer, did that for 25 years, which was great. But I always wanted to be outside. I wanted to be in nature. So now finally I've retired from that world and been doing this for 10 years, and I can't think of anything better in my life except this type of work.
Good for you. That's amazing. And the community is so lucky to have you, and you bringing nature is just such a breath of fresh air. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It was a pleasure. My pleasure.
Next up is poet Emily Stile at Breathing Lotus Living Arts in a performance of her original work.
And our next reader is Emily Stile.
What a joy to be with other poets and listeners and readers. American poet Emily Dickinson said, "A word is dead when it is said, some say. I say, it just begins to live that day." I'm honored today to give voice to the words of two young poets, both in their 40s, whose wonderful anthology was just published last month. The opening poem is by James Cruz. It's called Married to Amazement. The man I married sat next to me after our wedding. October light pouring in over dusty pews as he loosened his tie and sipped from a cup of apple cider, closing his eyes to savor the taste. Now I think I didn't marry him so much as his amazement for the everyday. The way he still gasps each time we see something new. Baby painted turtle plodding through a stream in the quarry, or a neon orange caterpillar inching across crisp leaves on the trail. How he kneels to film it from every angle while I crouch beside him in awe of his awe, learning all I can. What a poem to think about during Pride Month. All right, here's one from his husband, who's the co-anthologizer and also a poet. His name is Brad Peacock. And I think part of the joy of this poem for me is that I'm a big sister to 5 brothers. I also have a sister. So if the truth be told, I sometimes go around looking for brothers to adopt. And these two are in the running. This is Brad Peacock's Look Deeper. From outside appearances, I may be a middle-aged man now, with gray in my beard, hair receding like an ocean tide, and crow's feet permanently imprinted on the corners of my eyes, each line like a Rolodex full of stories. The good, the bad, the joy, the sad. But dig a little deeper under the surface and you will find a little boy who will always live inside the walls of this aging body. A younger self who did not have the words, did not have the voice or skills to navigate the complex world he was born into. Insecure and scared, he always pushed his needs down to take care of others. frozen in fear from seeking the love he always wanted, until his light was nothing more than one last smoldering ember, almost extinguished beneath piles of ashes, having almost given up on this life. Now I walk down gravel roads with my husband side by side, paying close attention as we help one another heal, comforting those two little boys forever within us, hand in hand, growing older together, finally finding our way home. And there's one more. I got three, I think. And this is Brad's, just born while they've been on the road with the new anthology. And it's our anthem for my LGBTQ plus family. And here he is. You can scrub letters from websites. You can take away our health care. You can do your best to strip our humanity, but we will not be erased. You can misgender people. You can continue your campaign of casual cruelty. You can burn these very written words, ban the books that mention our existence. We will not be erased. We are loving sons, daughters, and children. We are brothers, sisters, and siblings. We are family. We are friends. We are neighbors. We are those who care for your loved ones. We are those who risk our lives for your freedom. We are the farmers who feed your families. We belong in every community. We will never allow your darkness to diminish us. We are devoted prisms of brilliance whose collective fractals of light will forever find the fissures in the barriers you fabricate. We will never be erased.
Check out what is brewing in your local literary community while enjoying delicious local beers at Inebriart's Pages and Pints Small Press Expo. On Sunday, August 24th from 12 to 4 p.m., Mayflower Brewing Company will host volumes of small press, local indie authors, mom and pop bookshops, and other independent folks of the letters. This event is free, so come browse some books, drink some brews, and discover the next great read in your own neighborhood.
Dave Antoine is here with a Just the Facts update on Plymouth Town Government on the local scene.
While the outside temperature peaked at around 100 degrees, the Plymouth Select Board met in the Great Hall to go over the business of their July 29th agenda. Vice Chair David Golden took the gavel as Chair Kevin Canty was on his way to Shishikahama, Japan to represent the town. In less than 15 minutes, the board quickly went through licenses before moving on to three main agenda items, one of which is being tabled until after the fall town meeting. Usage of the 1749 courthouse was discussed, mainly about establishing a usage policy at the space, given its ongoing past and present use with the aim of using the building more. Led by Connor Anderson, the Town Historic Resource Coordinator, the goal was to use the building more with this policy, one praised by Selectman Bill Cohan, echoed by Selectwoman Debai Quinto, with a potential rental fee, one that could be part of a future town meeting article, with the intent of this policy establishing an ongoing usage pattern to make the courthouse worthy of a revolving fund that need to be approved at town meeting. Later, the Affordable Housing Trust Policy Amendment required much discussion with the board, town manager, and trust chair Kathleen Dunn. The amendment was born out of noting an inconsistency with state law with the goal of bringing it into compliance. Selectman Cohan indicated that he'd like to see the director from Planning and Development be brought into conversation, one that was discussed by Trust Chair Dunn, given the necessity of the director's involvement. Both agenda items were voted unanimously by the board. The drinking water in Cedarville, the introduction of a chair with the League of Women Voters Affordable Trust House Committee, and Memorial Hall were among the mentions of public comment. With Memorial Hall, Selectman Cohan offered his thoughts on the maintenance of the space and what it could mean for a future town meeting and the work of a town committee. Town Manager Derek Medici provided his report, responding to a comment about indoor air quality testing at the MBO building. He also provided an update on Burt's Building progress on the Boardwalk project, Jetty Pond into September, a Route 80 cemetery project, and an upcoming informational campaign regarding Triple E. The Select Board will return to the Great Hall on August 19th. This has been your Plymouth Government Access on the local scene.
Grays Beach has been rocking community music nights all summer long, and just to give you a heads up, Tuesday, September 2nd will be the last music in the park of the season. Grab your beach chairs or blankets and bring the entire family for another night enjoying good tunes, great food from local food trucks, and fortifying family time under the summer evening sky. Just the Dip, Mom on the Go, Bee's Ice Cream, and 42nd Brewing Company will all be on hand this evening, offering a medley of tasty foods, sweet treats, and fizzy brews and beverages. Acoustic rock band The Keepers will be filling the night with sound. This event is free to all and starts at 6 p.m. Parking at Grays Beach is limited, so ride sharing, carpooling, or early arrival is recommended.
Boston touring band Little Lies will bring the timeless music of Fleetwood Mac to Soundcheck Studios in Pembroke on Saturday, August 30th. Dreams really do come true. Founded on a robust shared affinity for the lush sound of Fleetwood Mac, Little Lies takes audiences on an immersive oral journey through the band's iconic catalog with faithful, heartfelt recreations of the group's popular hits, as well as deeper cuts that are long-standing fan favorites. You can go your own way or go with friends, as long as they are 21 and up with a valid ID. Doors will open at 7 p.m. and the music plays at 8 o'clock. Tickets are available now through Soundcheck Studios' website.
Next up, the local scene street team and I popped up at Plymouth Pride to talk to some of the small business vendors advocating for equity and inclusion. With Carrie from Baubles and Bones. Hi, it's great to see you today.
Hi, it's so good to see you.
Can I ask about your business? What do you sell?
Sure, I sell crystals. So all different shapes, carvings of crystal rock. Mostly for their metaphysical properties. I pick what works best with everybody's emotions and feelings, and especially nowadays, everybody needs a little stress release and everything else. So yeah, we pick the pretty shiny rocks.
Are crystals a big part of your life?
They are.
Very nice.
Yes.
And why was it important for you to be here today?
Well, Plymouth is my community. I live here, so I wanted to be here to support all the people in our community, and crystals are for everyone. Pride is for everyone, so I just wanted to be out here to support everybody.
I love it. It was so nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you.
Hi, I'm with Ann from Social Realtors. It's great to see you today.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. This is a great day out here.
It is a great day out here. Can you tell me a little bit about Social Realtors?
Social Realtors is located in Pembroke, and we represent the South Shore community, and we have some equal opportunity housing information today that we'd like to present to all the clients that come by, and we love supporting the LGBTQ community. It's really important to us, and especially to me, as my brother was gay and he passed away 2 years from cancer. So
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Can I ask you about equal housing? Like, why is that important for you to showcase today?
There's a huge housing crisis in the state of Massachusetts right now. So it's very important that we emphasize that we need more housing, and the State House is working on it. I just went to the State House to with the Realtors Day on the Hill to talk about it, and it's been a crisis for many years, and we're trying to work on getting more housing for people.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
I'm with Josh from Crafternoon Delight. It's so great to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Can you tell me a little bit about your business?
Yeah, it's Crafternoon Delight by Josh. I started creating safe spaces in 2020, certainly when the pandemic hit, and I was just on social media, saw a lot of hate that the LGBTQ plus community was receiving, and wanted to make a huge difference. Started creating a lot of these custom signs. A lot are displayed in classrooms to provide and promote safe spaces.
So why was it important for you to be here today at the festival?
I just think with everything going on, especially the current administration, we need to spread a lot of love and make everyone feel inclusive, welcome, and safe.
Safety is really important.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Josh. It was so wonderful talking to you.
Yes, you as well. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm with Nicole and Cura. Welcome. So good to see you today.
Nice to see you too.
Can I ask a little bit about your business?
Yeah, so I am a psychic medium, so I do healings, and I also make polymer clay jewelry and healing sprays and oils. I'm also a proud pan, so that's why I'm here today. And my daughter, she's out too. She's my little lesbian baby. And we're just, proud to be here and happy to be here because I want to share my healing with everybody and know that, everyone has a place here. And I always want to have my space be somewhere that's safe.
Why is that important to you?
Because I want people to feel included. Like, I know what it feels like to go to a place and not feel like you have someone that appreciates you or someone that makes you feel like you can be yourself. Because for a long time, I couldn't be myself. So I want everyone who just, even if they just walk by, and I just want to smile and just say, hey, they don't have to get anything from me, just as long as they have healing when they walk by my table. That's all I care about.
Well, I wish that for everybody because you're wonderful. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you too.
With Ashley from Mayflower Brewing. It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you also.
Why was it important for Mayflower to be a part of this event today?
We love being a part of the community, and this is such a beautiful event every year, so we're really thrilled to be here. We love being a part of Plymouth and all of the things that are hip hop happening here, and Pride is a really meaningful thing for us, and we love being part of the diverse community of Plymouth.
Very nice. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, yeah, my pleasure.
On the afternoon of Sunday, August 24th, the Spire Center in Plymouth is hosting a gathering of healing, love, and hope with internationally known psychic mediums Lori Sheridan and Laura Wooster. Both certified mediums by the Forever Family Foundation, Lori is an evidential psychic medium, spiritual teacher, and author who supports the trust of inner guides. As an intuitive medium, teacher, and spiritual minister, Laura is also the host of the Intuitive Life podcast. From 2 to 4 p.m., join these renowned spiritual advisors as they deliver evidential messages from souls who are now in the spirit world, offering reassurance that love never dies and our connections with loved ones transmute far beyond the physical. Tickets are available through the Spire Center website.
Here's poet Marilyn Gove in a reading of her original work.
Next up is Marilyn Gove.
Come on, I deserve applause too. You can do better than that. This may be the only time I get it all month, so thank you very much. When I received, the invitation about tonight, I just love this venue. So I just really wanted to be here, but I don't generally write haiku. If you tell me 575, my head spins. I write poetry, and sometimes I don't even know what kind of poetry I've written. But I decided, even though I could come tonight and, sit and listen, I decided to write a few haiku and take on the challenge. So thank you very much, Jennifer. The first thing is, I'm in a workshop up in Westwood. I'm one of maybe 10 poets who refer to themselves as the Tuesday evening poets. And we recently, or actually the former poet laureate Lynn Vitti, actually had this small micro chapbook developed, and it was distributed throughout Westwood. So I have what I would call a short poem in here, and now all I have to do is find it, and then I can read it to you. It was actually part of a larger poem, which I felt never fit, and then it occurred to me, oh, this is its own poem, so I grabbed it and took it out. Anyone remember the blizzard of 1978? Oh, yes. Yeah, everybody does. So this poem is titled The Blizzard of 1978. The gray bone of winter pounds the northeast with heavy snow. Streets howl with despair. Trees topple, power goes out. Shabbat candles dot the darkened house with circles of light. Okay. And now, onto those wonderful haiku I wrote for this occasion. Haiku, courage. There is no excuse. This life is of your own making. Attitude is malleable. Haiku, imagine. The canvas is blank. Watercolors, oil pastels, crayons in a box. The last haiku, day's end. Shadows paint the wall. Dusk draws daylight from the sky. Planes soar overhead. And I have one, again, another short poem, called A Different Time. I think of my patio in Southern California, sunlight warming the coarse edges of its stucco walls, palm trees lulled by a melodic wind, Lady Ella's sultry voice scat singing in the background, a glass of iced tea sweating on a small outdoor table. And I thought we were supposed to read for 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
What's that?
Is anyone timing?
No, I know. So, you know, and also the invite said you could read anybody's poetry, not just your own. So, you know, we all look for usually some very famous poet and we read something, but a poet friend recently, as was discussed tonight, has written this new book. So I wanted to read one of her haiku. We got to promote ourselves, right? Haiku bouquet, number 1. Dilapidated fence, pig wanders over for breakfast. Outdoor bridal shower, guest unwrap their umbrellas. Divided nation, half want chocolate chip, the other sorbet. And there's one more, and this, of course, is by Elaine Sorrentino. I should have mentioned her name. I know it's been mentioned earlier. And Jennifer read, would you call it a stanza, one of 3 stanzas in the haiku?
No, a haiku is typically just 5, 7, 5.
Okay. Well, there are 3 5, 7, 5s in this particular haiku. So, yeah. As you can see, I didn't get my degree in, I didn't get a creative arts degree. Haiku bouquet, number 2. Bona fide poets spend 1 short month each year converting haters. Trick-or-treaters asleep, I Google what wine pairs with Snickers. Hoofprints on the roof, I don't believe in Santa, must be unicorns. Elaine actually read that. I heard it last year at one of the events that, you know, Marion has. I remember laughing, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Helping to strengthen dunes and creating habitats for wildlife, vegetation plays a key role on Duxbury Beach. However, some invasive and non-native plant species can harm the ecosystem by spreading quickly, pushing out native plants, and disrupting the flora's natural balance. Learn more on Saturday, August 23rd, when the Duxbury Beach Reservation invites you to the beach for an educational program from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. Learn how to preserve plant diversity with their vegetation technician, who will teach you how to identify and manage 2 invasive species found on Duxbury Beach, knotweed and spotted knapweed. This program is ideal for ages 15 and up. To register, visit duxburybeach.com and click the banner at the top that says, "Join us for invasive plant removal this summer."
In the mood for a sweet, fun read? September's book selection for the Pembroke Public Library's book club might be what you need. Eddie Winston is Looking for Love by Marion Cronin is a heartwarming, intergenerational story about finding love later in life. coping with grief and loss, and the importance of friendships to navigate it all. The book's discussion will take place on Tuesday, September 2nd at 6:30 p.m. We'll meet for 1 hour in the meeting room. It is geared towards adults aged 19 and up. Contact the library for information on obtaining the book.
Inebriart's 5th annual Arts and Crafts on the Green season is still going strong. Head to the lawn at Plymouth Town Hall on Saturday, September 6th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. when it will once again be a tapestry of local art, music, and community. Celebrate creativity, listen to live music, support your local economy, and visit with local artisans, makers, and DIYers showcasing and selling their handcrafted, unique items.
Next up is poet Shelley Sasso in a reading of her original work.
Tonight we're going to bring up Shelley Sasso, who's new and came in from Rockland? Randolph. So I'm keeping track of who traveled the farthest. So welcome, Shelley. Please come up.
Thank you. I have recently written a book of animal poetry, as yet unpublished, and my intended audience are not little kids, but tweens and young adults and adults. It has a bit of a conservation flavor running through it. Some of the animals are endangered and some aren't. So I'm just going to read one little short guy and then two kind of medium short ones. Let me see, where's that first one? There you are. Okay, this is called American Eagle. As the greatest of all raptors, I have charmed potential captors. As freedom's symbol in their fable, I'll never be dinner on their table. I'm too short. This is my favorite one. It's called Long Live the Queen. You might get a sense from it that it's anti-male, but it's not. It's just anti-male lions. Long live the Queen. Mr. Lion, you are dethroned. Sleeping all day, waking only to steal a mate, doing away with her babies if they're not your own, or to be first in line at the dinner table after she, exhausted, places the offering at your feet, having stalked and charged for days, succeeding only twice in 10 tries. She will eat what remains as you go back to napping or trashing the neighborhood with the bachelor gang. She will guide and raise the young, shielding them from danger and the searing sun. What have you done to earn your title and keep? Pride of the pride, she is the king of beasts. And this last one is called Silverback, and it's kind of based on, well, I went to the San Diego Zoo many, many years ago, and it's a fabulous place, and they have this enclosure that has one big, gigantic silverback mountain gorilla and all his girlfriends, kind of hanging around him. Silverback. The big boss surveys his territory calmly, still slightly scary to onlookers, though behind bars. He has it all on his tiny stage in his kingdom of confinement, wine, women, and song, food and shelter assured, no threat from disease, poachers, silent leopard, or murderous brawl, making those babies who'll save the race, who'll be flown to ancestral homes to wake up to a cool, wet morning, to the surprise of hunger and predators with only each other's comfort, a new act written by nature in a vast, unpredictable world. To be set free or not to be, that is the question. Thank you.
And that, my friends, wraps this episode of The Local Scene this week. Thank you for watching.
If you live or work in Plymouth, Pembroke, Kingston, or Duxbury and would like to have your own show or podcast, you should. Email community@thelocalscene.media to find out about our free production services and training for community members.
And if you have a story or event you'd like people to know about, email us at story@thelocalscene.media.
We thank our patrons Tiny & Sons, Quintal Brothers, and Squinty's Pizza for supporting our mission of community in action through media.
The Local Scene this week will be back next week with more of what's good and good to know in our area. Until then, we'll see you on The Local Scene. Hello, friend. If you enjoyed this video, please think about scanning the QR code and making a contribution to The Local Scene. Every dollar is appreciated, and your support helps keep community media alive and our resources free to the community. We'll see you on The Local Scene.